All right, so now we're going to be looking at pattern C. As you notice, this one's slightly different. Instead of giving you actual tiles, right, like an actual tile pattern, pattern C gives you an equation, y equals 3x plus 1. So your x is still your figure number, your y is still the number of tiles, but now they're telling you what the equation is. So, we're going to go ahead and write this down in our notebook for pattern C. The growth of tile pattern C is represented by the equation y equals 3x plus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and let you copy that. Pause the video, make sure you have that written down, and then keep the video playing when you're finished. Okay, so the very first step this asks you to is to go ahead and copy and fill in the table for pattern C. I'm going to show you one example and then you're going to fill out the rest. So your equation is y equals 3x plus 1. So whatever your x is that's given to you in your table, you're going to put it in for your x here. So let's say our x is equal to 0. That means we have y equals 3 times 0 plus 1. 3 times 0 is 0. So really y equals 0 plus 1. And 0 plus 1 is just 1. So when x equals 0, when the figure number is 0, you only have one tile. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for every x given to you, 1, 2, 3, and 4, every figure number. You're going to figure out the number of tiles in this pattern C using the equation given to you. So I'll let you work on that. Pause the video here while you do this, and then when you're finished, go ahead and keep the video playing. So the second question is, by how many tiles is each figure in pattern C growing, and what is the starting value? So pretty straightforward. The starting value, we already figured it out. It's the number of tiles for figure 0. So we already know our starting value is 1, right? But then your job is to figure out how much the number of tiles is growing by after you fill out your data table. So use your data table, figure out your starting value and your growth, and write it down in your notebook. Pause the video while you do that, and then when you're finished, you can go ahead and keep the video going. Okay, so the third question is just asking you how you can use the table to determine the growth and starting value. So you're able to figure out, hopefully using your data table, what your starting value and your growth is, but how did you do that? I would like an explanation on your thought process on what you did exactly. It's okay if you're not quite sure, just do your best to explain your thinking behind your answer to number 2 and how you can use this table. So again, you don't have any tile patterns. You're using a table. So how is that different? How are you using this tool for this question? So pause the video while you answer number 3 and then keep the video playing when you're finished. Okay, last question for this step is, where do you look in the equation to see the growth and the starting value? So there's an equation given to you, y equals 3x plus 1, and I want you to see if there's a way for you to figure out what the growth is and what the starting value is based on this equation. So as they're a part of this equation, you can be like, that's the growth. That's the starting value. If not, you can write down, you can write that down. But I want you to examine this equation a little more closely and see if you can spot the growth and the starting value in your equation. When you're finished, write down your answers in your notebook, and then when you're finished, go ahead and upload a photo of your work on Dreamseed Do.